Now comes the tedious part, my little strangelings, packing it in and going home to listen to what you may have captured. I recommend listening to your audio played back as loud as you can comfortably stand it, in a quiet setting or place, with no distractions. I also recommend utilizing over-the-ear and/or noise-canceling headphones if you have them. Play back your audio from the beginning and focus on the background more than what you or your friends are saying. Close your eyes if you need to, and really focus. One thing I have discovered after doing this for a very long time is that you want to really listen for any out-of-place popping or cracking noises. I have found that these sounds usually precede an EVP. I am not sure why, but I do theorize that it is because the ghosts or spirits are having to force themselves through the invisible veil or barrier between our world and the next in order to be heard. This sound doesn't always precede an EVP, but more often than not, in the course of reviewing for audio evidence, I have heard it before disembodied voice comes through. So keep this in mind as you review your audio. It may be a telltale sign to listen harder and that you may miss something. You're listening to your audio and there it is. A pop crack and a moan or a groan or a voice from nowhere saying a name or phrase. You know it's not your friends, but you also know that people aren't going to want to listen to the hour and a half of recording to get to it either. So how do you go about isolating it and cutting it out? With a cassette tape, this is obviously going to be harder. You may need to purchase or find a service that will convert your raw audio to an electronic file or MP3 for further dissection. You don't want to make a digital recording with a digital recorder of your cassette playing, as this will downgrade your audio too much. I don't know how you're going to go about this, but I believe in you that you will. I have to look into this myself. As to what to do with your digitized audio file or MP3 once you have it in that form, if you're recording with a digital recorder in the first place, of course, digital recorder includes your phone. Well, there are several programs available to magic make isolating and enhancing a small snippet of audio out of your greater whole. One is free and readily downloadable to your laptop or PC and is called Audacity. I myself utilize Adobe Audition, which I pay a monthly subscription fee for, but it operates pretty similarly to Audacity, so there's that. As for how you want to go about things to preserve the sanctity and provenance of your evidence, I recommend as follows. Step 1. Make a copy of your entire recording and work off of the copy. You always want to keep your evidence in its raw state and preserve its provenance. So no carving up your original, only copies, and always, always, always preserve the original recording in its raw state somewhere. Technology is changing, and who knows what could be done with that same recording years from now. Step 2. Working with the copy of your recording, isolate and copy or cut out the section of audio containing your EVP and save it. Keep enough lead and tail on it to include the popping noise if you hear it. I do believe more research needs to be done with this. Step 3. Make a copy of this snippet and work off of the copy of the snippet for continued clarification of the breakdown. At this point, you should have one file of raw audio, one file of just your EVP, and a second file of just your EVP for processing. On the second file of just your EVP that you've isolated, use your programs to lower or suppress any static or background noise and attempt to clarify or enhance your EVP. But remember, for every little thing you do, have a copy of the file for every step to form a clear trail of what you did to arrive at the final processed piece. Keep all of these files backed up somewhere safely. Even if all you do is present your final finished and clarified EVP to the world, I tend to keep these files as an I told you so to any science-based or skeptical investigators who may come along trying to poke holes in your evidence. When it comes to learning the program that you are working with, there are several free and/or cost-effective learning programs out there such as Skillshare or YouTube tutorials. As always, practice also makes perfect. Capturing, identifying, and isolating EVPs is a labor of love, my little strangelings, but in my opinion, well worth the effort. I hope these fledgling files have helped some of you newbies out there, and as always, happy hauntings.